All right, let's get right into it. We're going to take a pretty complex idea and turn it into a super clear, actionable guide. Today, we're building a blueprint for something that is absolutely crucial for any creator or business, and that is finding your people. You know that feeling, right? You pour all your energy into a product, a piece of content, an idea you believe in, but it just feels like no one's listening. It's like you're shouting into the wind, and you're not even sure which way to face. Well, today we're going to stop guessing. We're swapping out that feeling of uncertainty for a real structured plan. In just the next few minutes, we are going to build a blueprint to find and connect with the exact people you're looking for. And the heart of that blueprint is this little thing right here, the target audience profile. Now, don't think of this as some boring document. No way. Think of it more like a detective's case file on your ideal customer. It's our guide to figuring them out on a much deeper level. So part one, the who. Like any good investigation, you gotta start by laying the foundation. You gotta get the basics down first. We need the simple, verifiable facts. This first layer is all about demographics, the who of our investigation. This data gives us that first rough sketch of our person of interest. We're talking about the core data points. Things like their age range, what they do for a living, their income, and, super important, where they actually live and work. These facts help us narrow our search from, everybody to somebody. Okay, next up is the why. Because, let's be honest, knowing who they are is just the starting line. To really, truly connect with them, we have to understand what makes them tick, their core motivations. And this is where we make a huge leap. We're moving from demographics, which is the what, to psychographics, the why. So it's the difference between knowing someone is 35 and lives in a city and understanding that they deeply value sustainability and just can't stand overly complicated tech. See the difference? This is where the real detective work kicks in. We're not just looking at the facts of the case anymore. Now we're trying to figure out the motive. What's driving their decisions? What's keeping them up at night? And to find that motive, we look for clues in their values, their hobbies, their whole lifestyle. Are they driven by a good price, or is it all about prestige? Do they care more about convenience or quality? But the biggest clue of all is hidden in their frustrations. So the most important question becomes, what problem are they actively, desperately trying to solve? Because finding that pain point, that's not just a clue. It's often the entire reason they'd ever come looking for you in the first place. A really good pain point feels just like a direct quote. It's specific, it's emotional, it's a problem that they would say in their own words. This isn't just a need, you see. It's a real frustration that you can actually solve. All right, so we've got the who and we've got the why. Now, let's figure out the how. As in, how do we track them down? Where do we find them? This whole part is about observing their behavior. A good detective doesn't just know who the suspect is. They know their routines, their habits, their patterns. And that's exactly what we need to do. And right here, this is basically where we can see exactly where to look for those patterns. We're analyzing their digital footprint. What social platforms are they on? What are they typing into Google? We study their purchasing habits. Are they loyal to certain brands? And we figure out how they prefer to communicate, so we can meet them where they already hang out. So now we've got this rich, detailed file that's just packed with clues. But hey, the investigation is not over yet. Now it's time to turn this profile into a real, concrete, actionable plan. Because right now, that super detailed profile, it's still just a theory. It's a really powerful guess, but it's a guess. The next, and honestly, the most critical step, is to get out there and find some hard evidence to prove it. And a really smart way to get started is with something called segmentation. Just think of it like sorting your mail. Instead of one giant messy pile, you create smaller stacks for bills, letters, junk mail. Each one gets handled a little differently, right? This helps you tailor your message so it really hits home. So, for example, you might have your high-value customers who need one kind of message, and then potential future customers who need something totally different. Looking at your audience this way helps you put your time and energy where it's going to have the biggest impact. And here it is, a simple 3-step plan to validate your whole theory. First, you assume. That's building your profile based on everything we just talked about. Second, you verify. This is so important. You use surveys, you look at your analytics, you talk to people, and you check if your assumptions actually match reality. And third, you measure the results, tracking what actually works to get you closer to your goals. Probably the most important thing to remember is that this whole process, it isn't a one-and-done thing.
Your audience is going to change, they'll evolve, and so should your understanding of them. This is a constant loop of learning and testing and making your approach even better.
So this is it. This is the final, guiding question your whole blueprint is designed to answer. If you keep asking it and keep refining your answer, you won't be shouting into the void anymore. You'll be starting a real conversation.